A branch of the Kalamazoo Public Library closed today for a very unique reason. Bed bugs. It happened at the Washington Square branch. A library spokesperson says that during normal inspections, a couple of books dropped in the return slot were found to have bed bugs in them. The library closed and the books were sealed up in plastic bags before being destroyed. A pest control company will be in tomorrow, but the branch will remain closed until further notice. The library says that bed bugs in books is actually becoming a problem nationwide because people read in bed and then the creepy crawlies come out and nest in the book bindings. Because of this, all returned books are inspected now for bed bugs. Michelle, Christian, viewers here in our state might be a little torn tonight. Just as the president's address begins, so does the Michigan State game. Better make sure the remote has fresh batteries tonight. Massive mandatory budget cuts are looming for the country, and the two parties are as divided as ever. So what will the tone be in D.C.? Here's what we know about the president's speech based on what White House aides have been leaking out the past few days. As we know, over the past few months, Mr. Obama's efforts have been focused on things like gun control, working on immigration reform, and those will be addressed tonight, but so will the economy, and that's a good thing. A recent Quinnipiac poll says Americans are most concerned about two things: jobs and the national debt.
We'll hear in the President's State of the Union an outline from him for his plan to create jobs and grow the middle class. The President has always viewed the two speeches, the inaugural address and the State of the Union, as two acts in the same play.
The President spent most of his first term avoiding the issues Americans cared about most. What I'm suggesting is that he not do the same thing this time around.
The prevailing opinion is that President Obama will be aggressive toward Republicans in his speech. Florida Senator Marco Rubio will provide the GOP rebuttal tonight, while Senator Rand Paul will handle things for the Tea Party. And also speaking out after he attends the State of the Union, Ted Nugent, the Nuge, the Michigan native, will be the guest of a Texas congressman and will go to the event. He holds a press conference afterwards, and we can't wait to hear what he has to say. You can watch the State of the Union right here on Fox 17. That starts at 9. Michelle. Grand Rapids employees of an auto parts supplier joined workers in 4 other states today in protesting the way they're treated on the job. It happened at Flexingate, an Illinois-based supplier who works with Ford, GM, and Chrysler. Both union and non-union employees were protesting plant safety, wages, and what they say are efforts made by management to intimidate workers who try to unionize.
For me, safety's number one. I lost a union brother in 2007, and we don't want to see anybody else be carried out of here. We want them to be able to walk out on their own 2 feet.
Flexingate had no comment on the protest today. The State House is debating a bill that would keep the legal blood alcohol limit in Michigan at .08 and prevent a planned increase. On October 1st, the state legal limit is scheduled to return to .10. That's the level it was before it was lowered back in 2003. The House Criminal Justice Committee was debating that this morning and whether the move should be canceled. Outside of public safety concerns, the state says it could lose around $50 million in federal highway funding if that limit goes up. New tonight out of Van Buren County, we've learned that charges will not be filed against a 7-year-old who admitted to hitting his school bus attendant. The decision was made after the boy's father met with leaders at Van Buren Intermediate Schools, as well as that transportation supervisor. It all stems from an incident on Monday morning. David Edwards says that his son Justin, who has special needs, hit a bus attendant after she told him to sit down. The attendant then filed a police report. Tonight, the boy's father tells us that after the meeting with school officials and viewing the video of what happened, the charges in the case were dropped. Justin, though, was suspended from riding the bus for 3 days. In Ionia County, an officer involved in a deadly shooting last month has been cleared in the case. It happened on January 5th. Police say 55-year-old Bernard Rowley fired 2 shots outside of the Belding Police Department, shattering the window of a police cruiser. Now, an officer inside the station came out to confront Rowley, and that's when investigators say Rowley opened fire. The officer fired back, and Rowley was killed. Nobody else in the incident was injured. The Triumph was originally being towed to Progreso, Mexico, and was supposed to dock today, but strong winds forced a change of plans. One bit of good news, they're handing out free booze.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Free booze.
Oh, my gosh.
Didn't that happen to another ship, too?
It happened to another Carnival ship back in 2010.
And this is a Carnival ship as well.
It certainly doesn't feel like a Carnival for the people on board.
And you've gone on several cruises.
I'm a big fan.
Does it make you think twice?
No.
Can you imagine though if you were on?
No,
imagine if you
He
were
can't.
on
No,
there.
I don't think he would
No, you're
handle
right.
that well.
He can't. Let
He would
himself
curl
get
up in
away.
fetal
But-
position and sob if that happened to him.
I have a little better attitude at times. There are people who like to go on cruises sometimes who probably are freaking out more than others.
Yeah.
You have to be able to go with the flow. Now, this cruise was supposed to dock originally on Monday, so they're several days behind. You're thinking,
Yeah.
oh, free cruise, but a lot of people are sleeping on deck.
Oh, my
They've moved
gosh.
their beds out there because of the smell. I guess I just don't understand why the toilets aren't working. That's my issue. If they don't have engine power, I don't
Think about
fully
it.
understand how that
Yeah.
translates to the toilets.
Free booze.
We haven't heard any reports of serious injuries or anything. So
or
if people are
illnesses even.
suing, they're going to say, well, I was uncomfortable or
Yeah.
something. I think the truth is somewhere in between. It's kind of like the Superdome after Katrina.
It is.
You heard all the stories,
Yeah.
and nobody really knows what's
You
real.
got to
or
think
not.
this is going to affect the price of cruises with these accidents.
We can
the stuff
only
in
hope.
Italy.
For Carnival.
We can
yeah.
only hope. I also liked the tribute to Levon Helm.
That was really
When they
good.
did the song by the band there. They had Mavis Staple, they had Mumford & Sons up there, they had the
They had
girl from
Zach-
the Alabama Shakes.
Yeah, Zach Brown Band was
Zach
up there.
Brown.
Zach Brown actually was
Yeah.
up there. Yeah, it was good. I thought it was a good show.
It was a good show.
I really liked it.
Although, I'll admit, there was a lot of it that I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Some, not as much, I think, in years past.
Yeah.
And plus, there's always Adele. She's apparently going to win every year.
Adele's
The
last
same
album came out 6 years
She's
ago,
still
but it's
winning.
still
Really?
winning. No. And you liked
It's
the
been a
Biebs
couple
on
years, though.
SNL. I did not like the Biebs on SNL.
I did like him. I thought he was funny. I thought some of the stuff was funny. I think he was good.
You
Did
agree?
like him?
You're taking her
I
side on
did.
this
I
one?
really did.
Don't apologize for it. Be proud. Say it like this. I
I did like the Biebs
There you go.
on